That's new. I've not seen the rate before.
You're on a
Oh,
path
shit.
in the wood. Shit. This really doesn't end, does it? It doesn't matter if we kill her, it doesn't matter if she kills us, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Yes, so it does.
Oh, we have the cold.
No, there has to be a way out of here. There just has to be. What if we do what she asked us to last time? What if we just let her leave? Okay, so you've already been here. More than once, even. Great. So you probably already know all about her and all about the threat she poses to the world. Then let me remind you how catastrophic it would be if you helped her leave in any way. If she gets out, the world ends and everyone ends with it, yourself included. Oh, threatening us with death, are we? But why should we be afraid of dying? We've already done it twice. All death has done is shunt us back to these woods, where we're forced to listen to your empty warnings again and again. This place feels a bit different though, doesn't it? I don't even know what I'd call it, but
Only twice
definitely
in
not the same
this
part in the woods
chain.
anymore.
You have to remember, every time we go to chapter 1, that is like a soft reset in universe. We don't remember anything that came before chapter 1.
That's all the more reason to take this seriously. If the path isn't the same, it means that her influence is spreading, and the world has already started to end. Her influence? I really shouldn't have said that. It'll make your task more difficult. But now it's out, you could always take that information as a sign of goodwill between us and do your job, alright?
Save. I'll actually start going back now soon. Oh, hang on. Oh, it goes longer. I thought I only went to page 9 because that's all it said here at the bottom. Never mind, we're good. Our same narrator we met on the other loops. You were quick to accept that we've been here before.
Suspiciously quick. If I had to make a wager, I'd say yes and no. Is that supposed to be a riddle? If it is, it's not very good. I haven't met you, but you've clearly met me. It sounds to me like you're hopping between parallel realities, in which case the me you just met here is the same collection of experiences as the me you met at all of those other beginnings, but their continuity breaks the moment you say or do anything, in effect making them all separate.
You know, that's actually the most reasonable answer he could probably give. Without flat out saying he's an echo of a dude that once lived.
So, yes, I'm the same me, but ever since the moment we started talking, I'm different. I'm not sure how we're supposed to kill him ourselves, but he's asking for it. Maybe there's some way she can take care of him for us. They've clearly all been through some harrowing experiences. Don't let their baggage influence your decisions. You have the ability to see things clearly. I suggest you use it.
I also don't recall if they explain what the voices actually are. If they're like an element of the long quiet. If there's something that the narrator, the echo, or whatever his original form was, inserted into the long quiet as like a mechanism to drive him, or like what their actual source is. I killed her, I've been killed by her, well, I mean, like we the very, very, very start, we already have the voice of the hero. So, like, is the voice of the hero a naturally occurring part of Long Quiet? Is it something that was placed there as a way to drive us forward, you know? Because while it's part of us, it's also, you know, it's a distinct voice, a distinct personality. It's us, but it also is other. And every time we go to a parallel universe, we gain a new voice. So it's like the hero, and all those new voices remember the previous experience. So are they just like a corruption? Are they a voice that exists in that universe and we just adopted it? I'm curious what their deal is. Kill her, kill her. Neither of those things have gone well for us. If we're going to fall through the sleep forever, eventually we're going to let her out. We might as well do it now. Might as well do it now.
You're making a dizzying amount of assumptions. Your perceived reality looping twice before does not mean it will continue to do so forever. Those little voices have already drawn attention to the fact that even the path is different. The world itself is at a tipping point. Know that there is always a choice. Even if you were stuck in an infinite loop, there's no reason to assume that the mere nature of the infinite would force you to make any specific choice. You do have free will, as much as things would be easier if you didn't. And you can just keep making the correct choice forever, never deviating. Everyone is manipulating us, but we're starting to see the threads now. We just have to avoid getting tangled up in them. On second thought, let's not kill him. Let's throw him someplace that never ends. I'd like to see what that does to him.
I'm also thinking about it. We're not going to get all of these princesses in one run. So either I'm going to have to do a 5th stream or another stream, or like I'll have to do a reload at some point and just do some different routes. I might do it like when I get to the end here. I think it's 5 princesses to make a shift and mound. So we'll get whoever this is. We've gone 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So we can do that one. And then we got 2 more. Okay. Please the cabin.
You continue down the path towards the cabin. It isn't long before you're steps away from your destination. I don't think you need any words of warning. I think you know what's in there, and despite your protestations, I think you know what you need to do. I don't like any of our options here. It feels like we're being driven down the tracks to some awful inevitability. There must be something we're missing, something that would make everything make sense. Maybe letting her out really is the answer. Whatever. You don't want to listen to me? Do it then. Let her out. See what I care. It sounds like somebody's about to crack.
Are you trying to use reverse psychology on me, or have you just given up?
There's obviously no point in trying to reason with you right now, especially with all these clowns offering up their useless advice. Honestly, it seems like the more I try and talk sense into you, the more single-minded they get about letting her out. So yes, I'm done trying to argue. Would you look at that? We won. Take it however you will.
Enter the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is
pretty.
long and dark. A single narrow hallway stretching far into the distance. Curtains billow out from tall windows on either side, obscuring the path forward, fluttering helplessly as opposing gusts of wind rush into the building, clashing and joining and driving everything forward.
1 second, I just need to go and mute a tab. That started making noise.
The only furniture of note is...
There's no knife.
Strange. What's strange? Is it the mirror? The mirror? No, there isn't a mirror. What's strange is that there isn't much of anything in here at all, aside from the curtains. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade?
There's supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
What do you mean there isn't a mirror? There's a mirror, plain as day at the end of the hall. I suppose the only way to go is forward. So forward we will go. Blade or not, it doesn't really matter, does it?
And then there is a mirror at the end of the hallway, and that right now we can't see behind it. What's there? What's behind
If
it?
you're asking what's at the end of the hallway, it's the way to the basement. Are you saying there isn't a door? Are you saying that at the end of the hallway there's just an opening again? He didn't say door, did he?
Correct.
No, I didn't say door, because there isn't a door, it's just an opening. It's just like last time, isn't it? Only instead of a visible empty void, there's an invisible one. For all we know, she could be standing right there behind the mirror. For all we know, she's going to jump out at us, and there's nothing we can do to stop her. Let me assure you that there's nothing there. Nothing is going to jump out at you, and certainly not the princess. The princess is in the basement.
All right.
You slowly make your way towards the gaping maw that awaits you. Your fraying nerves buzz with trepidation, the chill wind raising your hackles as it gently pushes you forward towards the darkness at the end of the hallway. You can't shake the feeling that you're being watched. Oh, do we? Do we feel like we're being watched? I hadn't noticed. At least you're admitting to it now. You stop as you reach the end of the hallway, I presume in front of whatever mirror isn't actually there.
Wipe the mirror
I
clean.
hate that I know what's about to happen. Knowing makes it so much worse.
Yeah.
Reach your arm forward into the pitch black of the opening.
Well, a jump scare noise that time.
Well, that was a close one. All that stress and lead up for nothing.
Helplessly staring into the void. I'm glad I made a lasting impression.
Shit, where is she? You feel something long and frigid coil around your ankle. Your heart skips a beat, standing in muted shock for one long, frozen moment. And then she, the princess, constricts. Your bones snap. Icy pain radiates up from the break, a deep cold flooding your veins as your legs, numb with the shock of it, collapse, and you collapse with them. You're met with a terrifying visage of
Oh
the
shit.
princess. Her hand grips your leg in a steel vice, her grin carved jagged from ear to ear, crowded with far too many long and crooked teeth.
You killed me last time, and that was after you tried to lock me away forever. I was so close to freedom, but then you took my body away from me.
You have a body now.
So now, I'm going to take yours, and I'm going to walk it out of here. And you get to watch me do it, completely helpless, just like you left me.
Ah.
Maybe letting her in isn't the best idea. She clearly hates us.
Yeah.
And what's your point? I thought you wanted to get out of here. This is a way out, and it's different. We might as well take it.
It is different.
Yeah, but not like this. She's going to make it hurt. And turn off the part of you that feels things.
Also, we don't really have bird feet. We have like, I guess they are some kind of bird feet, but they're almost like lizardy feet.
Oh, like it's that easy? It is. Pain is just another sensation. If you can tolerate joy, you can tolerate pain.
Oh, shut up. Fucking...
Except that pain hurts. Yes, that's what it does. That's the definition. Do we need to explain to you why pain is bad?
The voice of the cold is like a redder sometimes, huh?
You need to explain to yourself why it isn't.
Look, we're even now. You killed me, and I killed you. Water under the bridge, right? I never wanted to hurt you. I don't even know how I got here. In fact, let's see, you know.
I think you forgot something, like the part where all this started when you left me to languish in a pit all by myself. Now it becomes something so much worse, and it's all thanks to you. If I were you, I would just want to get it over with. You lost your chance to call the shots. There's no going back to fix it now. You can either look on in horror or celebrate my freedom. But either way, you're about to become a passenger.
Oh my god, passenger princess time. Do you need to talk about it, or can I just like open the door for you?
You left me in a basement and then you killed me. We're past the point of compromise. I'm taking your body, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Enough talking. We'll have plenty of time for chit-chat once this place is far behind us.
You remain pinned to the floor of the long hallway as the rest of the princess's body emerges. Her proportions all wrong, limbs bent and curling, moving in ways that defy your understanding. Her torso stretches until her face is practically touching yours, her neck cracking audibly as she twists to look at you from a fresh angle. Are you sure you can't do anything to help us? Can't you, like, manifest a rock right on top of her head? And crush you along with her? Not that I even can manifest a rock. Besides, I thought you all wanted to be princess.
I didn't vote.
Not like this. You don't even have a weapon, so I'm afraid you're out of luck, which unfortunately means that I, and the rest of the world, are out of luck too. Okay, deep breath. This is fine. This is fine. Is it? Is there any conceivable way that this is fine? Yeah, I'm right. This is fine. It's better than last time. At least our organs aren't failing. At least I can actually talk. It is fine. Everything is always fine. These consequences have no real impact on us outside of momentary discomfort. I'm sure we'll be moving on again soon enough. Your vision fades as she tears open the membrane of your soul. You're awake.
Didn't she break my ankle?
Fixed on the long hallway, your vision swimming as the princess's command reverberates inside your skull. Her voice is all-encompassing. You feel wrong. It's so cramped in here. Like there's some sort of growth trying to push us all out.
Oh.
I know. You rise to your feet, though the pain in your ankle is blinding. Your body slumps against the wall, desperately leaning into it for support. It's rather rude to show up in somebody else's body and boss it around like this. We were gonna let you out of here. That's the whole reason we marched all the way back up to the cabin. Were we? I was.
I know you were, but you were only doing it for the wrong reasons.
What?
And what reasons are those supposed to be? Nobody should be able to be judge, jury, and executioner.
Weren't you all of those things for me? I didn't grasp the shape of everything you made me feel. You think you were numb, but you were hopeless and paranoid. You were afraid of me. And I don't feel refreshed even in the recesses of your soul. There is not a drop of sympathy to be found.
We weren't always like this. I've always been like this.
All I'm doing is reading what you've sown.
We don't have to let her out. I've been storing up a little bit of will since she forced her way in here. Take it and throw us all into the basement. It's better than giving her what she wants.
I like how he can do that.
Your body, still slumped against the wall, trapped between the princess's overwhelming will and the blinding pain of your splintered ankle, takes an excruciating step towards the cabin door. The movement is stiff, your body reduced to a marionette, pulled reluctantly along by your strings.
It's not that bad. The pain feels good. I know you feel it too.
I like how the voice is very muffled, like she's literally buried inside of us physically. Throw your body into the abyss. It's funnier.
In a single moment of overwhelming willpower, you tear your body from the wall and hurl it towards the gaping abyss.
I won't let you do this.
Capillaries burst and muscle fibers tear as you and the princess struggle over the reins of your body. One foot planted firmly on the edge where the floor ends, and the nothing begins. It's unquestionable that her reserves are greater than yours, but fortunately for you, the distance you have to cover is far shorter. We're putting in everything we have. You're not. You're thinking too much about how she's hurting us. You're thinking too much about your body. It's just a body.
Yes, it's just a body now, but I gave you so many terrible things to you.
1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Next one, we all go. 1, 2, 3. You throw everything you have against her and manage, for one brief moment, to overpower the princess's hold on your body. But that moment was all you needed. Your foot slips a few inches, and you collapse forward, the darkness swallowing you whole.
I wonder what they do at chapter 4.
Her thought slips through you, unheeded, as you fall, and fall, and fall. We did it! We actually did it! Yes, we've really shown them all, haven't we? I don't think this qualifies as saving the world, but at least you didn't ruin it. What
Woohoo!
happens now? But I want to know what he thinks happens now. Why? What do you know that you're not telling us?
I like the idea that he just like open door like, alright, see ya, puts on his hat. Oh, there she is. Terminal velocity ceases and you feel something. A mass, a growth torn out of you. You and the princess look at each other for a short moment.
What's happening?
Okay, that was an interesting way to end that princess. You don't answer before she's gone. When you feel resistance underneath your feet once more, memory
She's
returns.
Where does she go? And there's that mirror again.
It's gonna be okay. Just trust me. You've been here before, and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad, like looking at it's calling us, and not in a good way. You don't need to comfort them.
I'll see you on the other side. It's gonna be okay.
Okay. If you say so, we'll trust you. We'll trust you. Whatever makes you happy.
Approach the mirror. What? Is it? We withered? Is that this one? Yep. We withered. Then we brought the spectre to long quiet now.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can be. All of me is...
Avoiding this vessel.
This one is loneliness turned to seething.
Oh, such cool
She
design.
could not find her strength in others, so she found it in herself. She will make for a driven heart. Do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore.
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like a statue of Mary. Yeah, maybe it's a Catholic thing, but like, I think it's Mary. I think there's statues of Mary, but like the way the hands are kind of posed, the cloak on the head, or whatever, the headscarf, I should say, hood. Very reminiscent of that. I think a lot of the poses are a bit, but this one especially is doing that. Maybe intentional, maybe not. Maybe it's coincidental.
We will know when we...
So I think as 2 more vessels.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Bring the rate to her. Okay, so what do we got next? I like how the razor, even though it does go into a chapter 3, is still just the razor. There's an achievement to bring all the chapter 2 princesses to her as well that I need to get at some point. But obviously we're still in chapter 3 right now. And there's I might go completionist mode and do all the achievements in my own time. At the moment I just want to catalog all the different vessels. So, I think we need to get to the beast. Or maybe the witch? Does the witch lead there, I wonder? Because we've gone to Torn already. And we've done the wild as well. Also, some interesting to note here as I'm flicking through these. Now, maybe there's others that will be like this too. But the wild, it actually changes its picture when you click on it, when you hover over it. Which is very cool. The wild is beautiful as well. That was a fantastic sequence. Does the witch just lead to the wild and to the Torn? I wonder, is that how this is formatted, like... No, I was gonna say, do they lead to like just what's below it and then one to the side? But I don't think that's the case, because I don't think the tower could go to the princess and the dragon. Although tower going to the dragon would make sense. The nightmare can't go to the dragon, but the nightmare can go to the witch and to demote clarity. Spectre, I don't think it'd go to the apotheosis. Spectre can go to Princess Dragon, the rat, So can the razor go to this? I don't know. And can the stranger go to the Torn? Sorry, I know I'm kind of rambling here a bit, so I'm just thinking out loud. Yeah, okay. Okay. I think what I'm gonna need, and maybe it'll exist at some point, is like a mod that guides you to get all the different memories. Like, if you want to get this memory, like, you know, you click in here, like, let's say, yep, adversary. And it, like, you're given a path to lead to each of the memories. Sorry, I keep saying also. I also don't know if reloading clears memories. I should probably test that at some point. Or I should have tested at some point, maybe it's too late now. But like, if I, hypothetically, you know, with the beast, I only got 3 memories here, right? If I was in the tummy, if I got bored, and then reloaded, do I still have the memory of being bored? Or does that get erased with the save? Is it save dependent or what? Anyway. Anyway, I think we need to go to the beast. Sorry, can the razor lead anywhere but the razor? Hmm. No, I don't know if the beast leads to that. It doesn't. Okay. The Razor actually seems to have a lot of self-contained chapters, which is interesting. Just based off what I'm reading there. Anyway.
You may ignore.
Enter based on out the blade. Stairs.
You're still listening to reason.
Sock first.
Okay.
Go upstairs and retrieve the blade.
Thank you. You turn back to the stairs, intent on retrieve. Is it just me?
Let's finish
Your
this.
eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't see her. Where is she?
Close the door behind you.
You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
Come out, let's just get this over with.
I can wait. I'm very patient.
Wait.
You do your best to patiently wait her out. But eventually, Come on, wake up. We can't.
Venture into shadows, fuck
You
it.
step into the shadows. Too late, you hear the quiet patter of feet against the basement floor, followed by the taut pull and sharp pain of tearing flesh as the princess lunges into you from behind and drags you to the floor. The ferocity overwhelms you, and as the princess rends flesh from bone, your limp fingers lose their grip on the blade. It slips from your hand, your one last means of defense, lying useless beside you in a pool of your cooling blood. I suppose you just lacked the will to fight back.
Oh.
This is the end. I'm afraid it. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the... Everything goes dark. And...
I feel like we're the skeptic now.
You're here. It hasn't. If he doesn't remember...
I was a hunted.
Then something else must have trapped us here. You're not trapped here. Nobody's forcing you to do anything. The only sensible thing for you to do right now is march up.
No one's forced you to do anything. Alright, Mr. Gaslighter. Save. Cabin time.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Okay.
Does a cat lie to a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom? Or is it just acting out its nature? I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered. She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell. That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously.
Can birds smell?
Maybe.
Like, they be smelly, but like, do birds have olfactory senses? I don't... This game reveals that I don't know a lot about birds.
The interior of the cabin is
I think.
ruinous and dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here for a long time. Wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
I'll take the blade. I need to lose the fight, but we did a fight.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world.
Enter the basement. They do. That's
The door
wild.
to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
Actually, thinking about it, I need to lose the fight. I probably don't want to blade, right?
No steel claw. Do you think we can talk our way out of this? I don't think she wants to talk. I guess we'll just have to trust that we made the right call. The door to the basement creaks, the air seeping. She growls.
I can smell you.
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere.
She's right there.
You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her. Remember, she's just a princess. She is certainly not just a princess. You're not helping.
When do I ever help?
It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling.
Fledgling?
You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now.
Move. Oh, shit.
Direction on instinct. As you land, you're buffeted by a gust of air, disturbed by the sudden motion of a massive body. The princess. In an instant, she's pounced on the spot where you would have been, her chains rattling across the floor behind her.
What percentage furry is this princess?
Before you can blink, she's gone, vanishing once more into the shadows. But you still feel her
She's like a
gaze on you.
mongoose.
You're faster than you were before, but you're still
No, Al. A mongoose is like an ATV.
prey.
I've played Halo 3. I know what a mongoose is.
You whirl around to find her, and your gaze meets hers, a pair of shining eyes peering out at you from just beyond the basement stairs. So she's cut off our escape. Shit, what do we do?
What do you want? What do you want to do? Oh, I don't know. What do you want to do? Sorry. You don't have to kill each other. What if I helped you stop high and show yourself? I just want to see
If
this.
you want to see me, you should get better at seeing.
You know, that's fair.
She knows that her strength lies in shadows and secrets. She won't reveal herself unless she has to.
What do you want?
I want to swallow you whole, and I will get what I want. You have no exit. You have no hope. You live and die by my whims, and my whims alone.
I don't want to be eaten,
Don't ask her
because that's
what
a
she wants. Just run for the blade upstairs and slay her with it.
that's
that
not
all
a
the
good
advice you
ending.
have?
That'll take a
Don't
while, I
even know
think.
what she looks like. Some specifics would be very helpful. She's just a princess. Don't overthink it. She is clearly not. She's coiling for another strike. Be somewhere else. We're on the back foot. The back foot keeps us nimble, keeps us alive. It doesn't matter if it keeps us alive if it eventually kills us. We need to take back the momentum. We need to do something.
Survive.
Patch of jungle, barely moving out of the way before the princess surges past you with a speed that makes her practically unseen.
You're deflecting.
And you bear your weakness to the world.
Why don't you
Why
kill
does
me?
anything kill anything else? She needs to.
I didn't say I wanted to kill you.
It sounds like she wants to do something even worse.
Oh,
What
no.
she wants only matters if she wins, and you're not going to let that happen. A tickling sensation rises at the base of your neck. Flee. We can't keep doing this.
Said flee. Flee implies run to the stairs. I want to. I know, I'm going to stay alive.
Or maybe she's a little faster. You avoid her slavering jaws, but she manages to graze you, her titanic momentum skinning you along your side. It's like being sideswiped by sandpaper. How is she that fast?
You're bleeding now.
Correct.
You instinctively touch your side, testing her claim. It's wet and stings from the gentle touch of your fingertips. A costly mistake. We can't make it again. We will make it again unless something changes. We have to break the pattern. We need more time. She's cutting off our escape.
Our game is nearing its end.
Where's the rest of the world? I'm going to try to run for the stairs.
She's right there. That's fair. She'll kill us if we try and run past her.
Okay. So I need to wait for her to dive again. Why do you want to
I
eat me?
don't question who I am or what I want. I simply do. To act is always better than to react. To do is always better than to watch.
I mean, I've seen hotel rooms. There's a chair that exists in those that, you know, listen, love, it would rock your world that some people have a very different idea there.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but you do well to listen to her. Less standing around asking questions, more doing exactly as I say. She's more tense this time. She means this next blow to be the last. The mere thought of
Yes, that
moving
was a
again makes
couple
your
joke.
bloodied side ache. We're exhausted. We're bleeding. We're still alive. We owe it to ourselves to move.
Again.
Once again, you avoid the full force of the impact, and once again you are too slow to come away unscathed. You're starting to get tired. You're making mistakes. This isn't working. We have to do something. We have to figure out a plan. Don't plan ahead. Act on the now. All that matters is that we stay alive. We're trying, but we can't keep this up much longer.
You're
We
right.
have to. We keep up or we die.
You're getting slow.
She
Oh, that's
seizes the
so
opportunity,
cool.
lunging once again from the darkness, fangs bared and claws flashing. She attacks over and over and over, and each time she leaves with a little piece of you. Too tired to think, but we have to think. We have to move. It's too late. Before you get the chance to react, she makes her last foray from the dark corners of the room, unhinging her dripping maw, her eyes fierce and full
I think
of hunger.
we did it wrong.
You do your best to dive out of the way, and you partially succeed. Partially? Yes, the princess fails to
Oh,
swallow
maybe
you
it's okay.
whole. She only swallows your lower body. That's just as bad. That's worse, even. It's death either way. At least this will be a faster end. You look down to see
Ooh.
that the dirt between you is strewn with your intestines, trailing all the way up and disappearing behind her blood-stained teeth. Your legs are nowhere to be seen. You start to go into shock. The princess, bloody saliva dripping from her lips, idly gnaws on what's left of you as you rapidly fade away.
I didn't mean to do that. I still need to devour you. And it doesn't count if you're dead.
We're not dead, we're...
Dead.
But you don't have time to protest her premature observation of your death, because everything goes dark, and you die.
So we should have a new chapter 3? The Den! Yay!
You're on a path in the That didn't work. We're going in with a plan this time. We're not getting stuck in another loop, just acting on instinct. We're stuck in a big enough loop as it is.
Now, we didn't get an achievement for that one, because I think we actually have that from, like, my original play of the game. Like, before the Pristine Cut.
Instinct was keeping us alive, until it wasn't.
Got a
So
point.
what are we supposed to do? Great, so you've been here before. That doesn't bode well. You're not supposed to have been here before. This is supposed to be one and done. So you know more than you're letting on. Yeah, what he said. Of course I do, but believe me, it's in your best interests. The more you know about the princess, the more difficult your task will be. And why is that? Having me explain why would defeat the whole purpose. There are simply some things I'm not allowed to tell you. It's a hard rule. And whose rule is it? Who's telling you to boss us around? We've died twice already, and if you want us to stay alive this time, it's in your best interests to give us an edge. It's my rule, and this conversation is over.
Such a dickhead. Okay, what's the plan?
She spent as much time as she could in the shadows. So we're gonna draw her out. But she's fast. And she's clever. We're clever too. So this time we're not gonna let her cut off our escape. We're gonna lead her to the stairs ourselves. It'll be a lot easier to deal with her once we can actually see what she is.
True.
But you already know what she is. She's a princess. Yeah, right. A princess we couldn't see. And one that had big, sharp teeth too. How about you stick to describing things and we'll stick to doing our job? Sharp teeth.
Path's different.
Right. This is different, isn't it? I'm starting to lose track of things myself. Ground is ground. It doesn't matter what shape it takes. We'll adapt. If it looks different, that's because the situation has started to spiral out of everyone's control. So please, disavow yourself of the notion that you can just come back here and fix this place if you manage to make a mess before that line of thinking leaves you yet another world in ruin.
Okay.
Though, as evidenced by you dying twice, it's safe to assume the fates of the worlds you've left behind don't concern you very much. Consider this your last opportunity to make things right. For you and for the rest of existence. But especially for you. Clearly we're not getting anything out of him.
Wasn't trying to. Answers.
Like I said, I've told you as much as I can without putting you at a disadvantage. If anything, I've told you too much. You've already died by her hands twice. You shouldn't need much in the way of motivation.
What happens next seems like we'll answer at the cabin. I know what this. Bye! And no. Cabin time.
You make your way down to the cabin.
Ooh.
Your fated confrontation awaits. You know what to do. Alright, we've been over the plan. Goad her out of the shadows. Make her show herself.
Big yawns.
And what if she doesn't want to be seen? We'll figure out a way to make it happen. And if that doesn't make her any easier to fight, it will. It's always easier to fight what you can see, no matter how big or toothy she might be. The interior is dark and overgrown. Vines and brush obscure so much of the place that, had you not seen the exterior, you might not have noticed this was a cabin at all.
I wonder all the voices like sort of echoes, but like maybe because like we're a creation, right? Gone Quiet is something that the narrator's original self made. Maybe it's like they had to sacrifice, or not sacrifice, like build it from different people that came before. Maybe all the voices are representative of each of them, and that's why they seem to have experience in things.
The only furniture of note, if you could call it that, is a knotted stump.
I
A
wonder.
pristine blade embedded in its exposed rings. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. If there's a way forward, that mirror is blocking it off. What are you talking about? There is no mirror. There's just the stump and a narrow tunnel that leads to the basement. He isn't tricking us. Can you feel the wind? It's telling us there's a hole in that wall. Our eyes deceive us.
Okay. So, confirms that like mirror physically, and it always appears when we get near it. That enough already told us it's not physically there, but that's even more confirmation. So it must just be like a crack in our reality, as the narrator says, you know, every loop is a, you know, things getting worse. So this is like a crack in the world, I guess.
Then either way, we need to investigate. Might as well get started.
I'm going to take the blade.
Yes, take the steel claw.
I like how he has a steel claw.
You pull the blade from the stump, gripping it tight. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Odds are we'll need it. Thanks for not putting us in a bad spot. You step forward, approaching the small hole that leads to the basement, hesitating before you enter the princess's lair. Haven't you been paying attention? We're not hesitating. This supposed hole is blocked by that old mirror. That mirror isn't part of this place. It's seeped through from somewhere else.
Yeah, thank you, Hunter. You're kind of giving the line as like what I'm trying to say.
It's
like a break in reality.
It is a hallucination. Like you said, you've been here twice before. Your mind was bound to start playing tricks on you eventually. It's so grimy. Maybe we can wipe it clean and finally get a look at ourselves. You reach forward and wave your hand over the open hole leading to the basement.
Okay.
See? Nothing. Tricks of the eye. No one sense can be trusted on its own. You step forward into the darkness. If there were once stairs leading into the basement, there is nothing left to attest to their existence now. There is only a long tunnel of packed earth, growing more narrow as you descend.
Ooh.
It smells of mold and decay. The damp walls leave streaks of dirt along your body as you're forced to hunch, then finally squat down on all fours in order to continue. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. As you crawl forward on hands and knees, you're met only with the sounds of ambient earth. No voice slinks confidently up the stairs. No entity threatens violence or pleads for safety.
Huh.
Stay quiet. Don't give her a sound.
Say nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna say nothing.
You say nothing, maintaining the silence as you carefully make your way down into the basement. The basement is dark and cavernous, a gaping maw threatening to swallow you whole. There is no light here, save for what little starlight has managed to filter down the tunnel. And though you can't see the vastness of the space, you can feel it. You're exposed.
Good thing we were quiet.
Stay on your toes. We take a step into the shadows, and as soon as she moves, we jump back, make her follow. From there, we trap her in the tunnel, draw her out of the cabin, whatever it takes to get her out of her element. Then we're safe.
I don't know about that. Turn the showers and try to lure her out.
You step into the shadows and are enveloped in total darkness. Your heart pounds.
I thought skeptics
ears
tell me.
pricked, eyes wide despite the inky blackness, waiting for any sign of movement. That's right. Keep steady. Don't let your nerves get the better of you. There, she's about to strike. With the near silence of a determined predator, the princess erupts from the shadows. But you've already started your swift escape. That's stage 1. Now stay focused.
Yeah.
You dive into the tunnel and begin scrambling up towards the cabin. You hear her behind you, claws raking at the dirt, chains rattling, then snapping, breaths hot and heavy with the effort of the ascent. But the sounds are coming slower now, the breaths pained and stuttering. You no longer sense frantic motion behind you in the tunnel. You risk a glance. She is a broad and sickly creature.
Oh, shit.
Her withered and emaciated flesh clinging to bones too large to fit in the narrow space. She managed to squirm her way into the tunnel in pursuit, but now she's stuck, incapable of either moving towards you or returning to the open darkness of the basement below. So that's what she's become. She wasn't like this when we started.
She's almost looking like us. Like the feathers and the claws. Hey, Annie. How you doing? Yeah, like feathers, claws.
No, she wasn't. Looking at her makes me feel sad. Yeah. Now
TGIF.
that we can see her, she doesn't feel like much of a threat at all. She paws futilely at the air between you, but her shoulders are pinned in the narrow confines of the opening. She has no hope of reaching you. When she realizes this, her arm goes limp, flopping to the dirt floor of the tunnel, and her eyes fall from yours, defeated.
I mean, today, very good. Yeah, exactly. Like even the pattern on the arm is just like the pattern on the Long Quiet's arm. That's really interesting. And not to get too deep, like where was her home? A big dark void. What was she being? Super quiet.
Her eyes
Makes
look
you
up at
think.
yours, wide, pleading. Come back, you can imagine them saying, don't leave me here. But you shouldn't listen to the sad eyes of a vanquished enemy. She wants nothing more than to change places with you. If you want us to ignore her, then why would you tell us any of that wide, pleasing eyes begging for mercy business to begin with? All it does is make us feel conflicted.
Yeah, I just want to give her like a little pat, like, you know.
I'm merely describing things as they are. It's not my fault that her eyes had something to say, even if that something was a ploy, which, if I might stress, I pointed out to you. What should we do about her anyway? Can she still end the world like this? She hurts. We should help. Now let's think for a second. Let's reevaluate. Should we help her? Well, I do feel bad looking at her.
Same.
There's no way to get close without being in reach of those claws. We've come this far, but can we trust a creature that until a few short moments ago fully intended to eat us? What an excellent question with an equally excellent answer. No, you should not help her. She's clearly just waiting for you to drop your guard. Beyond that, you do well to remember that she poses a threat to reality itself. You already have a weapon. She's as vulnerable as she's ever going to be. How about you use it?
Ooh, some great options here. If she kills me here, I don't see how that would lead to a chapter or to an end. The only thing I think is that she would eat me and it would lead to like the wild maybe. But I just made a save, so let's just try.
The princess's eyes go wide as the blade tumbles from your hand. You're going to get yourself killed.
Probably.
What are you doing? We could all just turn around and be done. What's your game?
I was gonna see what happens.
You and I both know there's no game. He's made a bad choice. As you draw near, she readies her claws, raising them to strike. Don't flinch. Show her our resolve.
She's like a big cat. Offer your hand.
You reach forward, offering the princess your hand. How ridiculous. She was about to kill you. Do you really think getting stuck in a tunnel for less than a minute has fundamentally changed her?
Yes.
Yes, she's a victim of her own nature, just like we are. If all she wanted was to kill us, she'd have kept trying. But she's hesitating, isn't she? Yes, she is. Her eyes shift from faux ferocity to confusion to a gentle sadness. She lowers her claw and places it in your hand.
Yes!
Ugh.
Friendship wins!
Do you think we can pull her out of there? We have to try. It's a bad death being stuck in place. And what if it doesn't work? What if we can't trust her? We have to trust someone else eventually. It's either him or her, and I know you don't trust him.
And the music sounds triumphant.
I don't even trust the rest of you, but that doesn't mean we have to go around pulling bloodthirsty monsters out of perfectly good traps. But we haven't seen what happens if we help her. Doesn't that mean it's worth exploring?
Yeah.
I can't argue with that. All right, let's see what happens. Maybe we'll finally get some answers.
Pull her free.
You tug, but the princess remains stuck. What a shame that the bones of her massive form are too large to fit through the narrow tunnel. Keep pulling. All he has are empty words. He can't undermine us if we don't listen.
Yeah, rah rah, fight to power.
You are all infuriating to work with. But fine, you continue to pull on the princess's arm and she starts to budge. She pushes with her back legs, clawing at the earth, a burst of strength aiding your efforts. The dirt and stone start to crumble around her. That's the spirit. Keep going. Yes, quickly, before the whole tunnel comes down on top of us. Yes, wouldn't that be an interesting development? What if the very nature of this tunnel was such that you were incapable of leaving safely with the princess? How devious. Does it collapse? Yes, it does. As you pull the princess free, the tunnel around you does exactly what you thought it might do. It falls apart. Trapped. No, we have to get out. We have to get out.
The princess saves us with her bulk.
It's too late to scramble for freedom now, little voice. You didn't think just pulling her out of there would be consequence-free, did you? Well, the ceiling collapses, heavy stones tumbling down on top of you and the princess, and I don't believe it. Let me guess. Everything goes dark, and we die. No.
Yeah!
You open your eyes to see the princess, her body stretched over yours, her face wincing as she shields you from the heavy rocks and debris. There is space enough for you to move, at least for now. I'll be damned. So there's more to her after all.
Yes!
The pack is always stronger than the lone hunter. We save her, she saves us. She understands. Well, we can't keep saving each other forever. Her arms are already starting to give out, and there's a whole mountain of earth on top of her, just waiting.
Sorry, I'm not talking much, I'm just enjoying everything.
Always dig. Both of us. It'd be suffocating to death down here in the dark. Then let's do it.
Dig.
You and the princess dig through the loose earth of the collapsed tunnel together. How sweet. But it seems the harder you try to claw your way forward, the denser the path becomes. All of this effort, and for what? A chance to end the world. I hope you fail.
See what I mean? Like the pattern looks the same. I don't know. I'm wondering if that's intentional in her nature as she evolves, or if that's just like how they kind of draw scales.
His words are nothing. Pay attention to what you feel and see. It doesn't matter if you ignore me, because I'm just telling you what's happening. And what's happening is that you and the princess are getting tired, and your mouths are full of dirt, and it's getting harder to breathe. Harder to breathe is still breathing.
Yeah.
Well, either way, the two of you are miserable.
Ah,
I don't
well.
know. I feel like we're forming a bond with her. Can't be all that bad if we're bonding.
Yeah.
She's not capable of bonding. Need I remind you that as soon as she saw you, she tried to eat you?
Well, you
You're
know.
not friends. And as soon as you're out, you'll see just how seriously she values your life.
Irish kills us.
If you were so sure we were going to fail, you wouldn't sound so desperate. You're just hot air. There's nothing of substance to you at all, is there?
If we die, we die.
I have plenty of substance. I have feelings and desires. Like my desire to save everyone in the world. I feel that very strongly. Do you smell it? Fresh air.
Fly away to freedom.
With one final massive heave of her body, the princess pushes her way out of the tunnel, leaving you behind, the quickly collapsing space you once shared. Yours was an alliance of convenience, just as I predicted. She has left you to die, buried and alone.
No, she's gonna put her hand back down and
You
save
are
us.
Unbelievably petty. Oh, my pettiness is nothing compared to yours. You were delighting in my suffering and the damnation of the entire world just moments ago. She hasn't left. She's coming back. Don't you hear her? No, she isn't. She's... How many times do you have to be wrong before you stop talking? The princess stares down at you from the opening. Before the tunnel can finish sealing itself, she cranes her elongated neck and gently plucks you from the earth. She carries you across the half-collapsed ruin that was a cabin, carefully setting you down by the door. If there were to be a record, let it show that I tried. I really, really tried. But there won't be a record, will there?
Open door. Blonda
You
for.
open the door, the two of you stepping out into the fresh air and collapsing together onto the dewy grass of the outside world.
Oh, it's kind of chimera. No, chimera. That's the right word. Like it looks. There's a wing here and 6 legs. Yeah, chimera is the right word. That's such a cool design.
We're outside and there's ground beneath our feet. I don't see any oblivion. Admit it. There never was an end of the world coming, was there?
He does not reply.
Yeah, we got him there, didn't we? Don't think I've ever seen him stunned into silence before. Can't you feel the hole where he was? He's gone. Fancy that? I'm not sure gone is good.
The princess rests her head close to you. Her eyes turn to yours amid the untextured threads of a world unraveled. Are we free? They ask. I'm cold. I don't want to be cold. God, that's such a good princess design too. Definitely probably like past furry and into just animal at that point, would you say? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know where I fall on that one yet.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror. But it feels so bad. The thing reeks of death. You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
I'll see you on your side. It's gonna be okay.
I'd like to be somewhere nice. Feels too good to be true.
Approach the mirror. I don't know what this one is. You go, if it's withered, to now it's you've unraveled.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the lone
Huh?
quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
This isn't. Maybe just maybe just because it's not dark. I was gonna say it looks like the wrong princess, but the tail is there and the little wings are here. I guess she just looks kind of odd when she's picked up like this. Oh yeah, there's like the snoot. Doing a toss in this vessel.
This one is consumed by instinct, a dancer moving to the rhythm of the flesh. She will make for a ravenous heart.
Okay.
She wishes me to devour you,
Oh.
to make you a part of myself. But she is only a voice.
I'm gonna zoom in like a nice way.
Do not mourn her, for she is part of something greater.
I'm ready to go back.
The next time I see you, I will be here.
Okay, so I'm gonna hope that
On a path.
this run we're able to well, hang on, how do we want to do this? Because we won't be able to ask about the vessel, which I like doing. Maybe I reload here to the last chapter 1. I think that would make more sense. And then try and get the last 3 memories from this point. Or last 3 vessels from this point. I think that's a better idea. Is this a chapter 1? No, that's probably a chapter 2. But we'll find out. We'll check. No, it's like a chapter 1 to me.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. A warning. She will... We're not going to go... Ignore. The interior of the blade.
Okay, so... Jen, you just got here. Do you want to see the other vessels that we unlocked today while I figure out the one we're doing next? So, today we unlocked the Fury, who is Fleshwife. Oh no, it's gonna be a very quick gallery looking Fleshwife. She has bone heels. Ooh la la. We also got the Apotheosis, which is well, she started off as Godwife. You know, big old Godwife. Bone heels are good. Cool Godwife, you know, big, very big. We eventually got a sword, and then she turned kind of into Spaghetti Wife. So you know, that's that was. We support our wife in all of her different, you know, ways she chooses to present herself. Big ol' Ed. Then we also got the rate, which is Scaly Wife, I guess. Skeleton with tits wife. Oh, beauty standard in 2001 wife. Very cool though. Also, it looks like Mary here. I think they're all the ones we've gone. And then also, yeah, we had animal wife just there. You know what you get it, right? Like, you know what I mean. You remember what it was like back then. People were fucking weird. Sorry. So next we are going for... We've seen the worst sights of... So I'm assuming that this is either a stranger path or a prisoner path. So let's have a look here. What does a stranger lead to? It doesn't look like the stranger leads to a chapter 3, which is actually quite interesting. So it must be the prisoner. That must be the cage. I remember the cage. I think we got that on my very first playthrough, but... Okay, so yeah, it is the prisoners. How do we get the prisoner? With the blade, rescue, resist. Okay. Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table.
So I am half using the guide to try and get some of this. Now, once I actually get to the princesses, I'm not using the guide to
Who's there?
do much more from there, but... Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
I haven't decided yet.
How about you drop the...
Look, don't you dare. It's fine.
Drop it.
The blade, Tom.
Thank you.
It will be fine.
Can I? Okay. Talked enough.
Oh, have you...
Examine the chains.
You have to. You walk up to their large and heavy.
I'm guessing you...
Maybe it's doubtful.
Do you have any ideas?
Well, you do have that big...
If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd been... You attempt...
Turn to the bottom of the stairs.
Easier.
I heard the door slam. The knife.
You won't.
Save the princess.
Against your bet, you cut. The blade is... She didn't so much as... Free. How is she so composed after
Push off
leaving
door.
You won't have any of that. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body... Wait, this isn't... Watch me.
We've actually, because we've done so many slaying of this route, we actually can't even do that anymore. Or her.
Stop that.
I thought this was...
Your body... Stop.
Resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and...
Okay, we're in the prisoner, which is where we want to be. There's 2 routes out of the prisoner. And then our last one is out of the damsel. I know that much. That one I've seen mentioned online. I've seen a lot of people, and by a lot, yeah, I'm not that hard, but I've seen a good few people saying that the last one is like their favorite. So I'd be very interested to see that. Has already happened.
Don't forget what he did to us the last time.
Skeptic as well as.
I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. inclined to agree. You know I can hear you two, and as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
Proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further.
Enter with the
lie,
blade.
she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
As long as we die, it's fine.
Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink.
Wink.
Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't.
Wink.
Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Calling someone a clown is such a good insult. I love calling people clowns.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison.
Oh.
The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Take the blade. I guess this is probably a good place for a save, actually.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone.
I know there's one path out of this that
The
involves
door to the
giving
basement
her the
creaks
blade.
open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her
Maybe I'll
lap.
just kill her.
Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an
It's just
interesting
decoration.
development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Fuck it, I just... There's been a lot of violence in this run.
Without a moment of hesitation, you charge the princess, your blade primed to deliver a lethal strike.
I am not a damsel to be helplessly murdered.
Hey?
As you move to strike the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
In an instant, they're around your neck.
Oh,
both of
shit.
you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly.
Drop it, or you die.
I thought this was going to be a safe move, but she's going to kill us. Just listen to her. Do what she says. How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her before she ends you.
That makes sense. Say,
You feel your will and refuse to give in to the princess's demands, ignoring the stars dancing in your eyes and the screaming of your starved lungs. You strike.
yeah.
You fumble your first few attempts, only making surface-level scratches and gouges as your arm flails forward, barely able to obey you. But a single focused blow was all it took. Your blade pierces up through her ribs, slicing through flesh, striking her heart.
I feel awful.
The chains loosen. The darkness creeping in at the edges of your vision subsides.
None of this was ever very fair, was it? But I did kill you last time. I should have expected you might want some petty revenge. Unfortunately for you, that means you've dug your own grave. You can forget about me ever helping you again, even if it damns us both.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
just like that, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward. I don't like this. It was too easy. It was not too easy. We almost died. That's right. This was an incredibly difficult task, and you performed it admirably. Let's just get out of here. I don't like looking at her body. Plus, he said there'd be a reward. I'd appreciate a reward right about now. You have the attention span of a fly. How are we supposed to unravel the mysteries of this place if you're so easily distracted by empty promises? It's better to have a short attention span in a situation like this. There's no use dwelling on the past, especially when it's already set in stone. And especially when your promised reward is not, in fact, empty and is worth all the adversity you've been through to get here. Fine.
No, it isn't.
But if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it. With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here.
Yeah. Ignore the fact that there isn't any outside anymore. If you look out these windows.
The windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside
yeah,
world from
on
up
that.
here, but now it's just empty. The door. Check the door.
Open the door. Accept the reward.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows.
Oh, also, if you notice, the blade in my hand actually has blood on the tip now. Like in the cursor. I don't know if it's easier to see it if I have over a white background here, but that's interesting.
But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward? This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have it. And I suggest that you have it.
It's such a shit reward.
Okay. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Like hell it is.
I don't know if you're okay with this. I was kind of hoping to get a better ending for saving the world. Let's try that.
This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No, this is the beginning of eternity. Your reward, like I just told you. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win.
And you know, I'm happy. We're happy. I'm gonna accept my reward now.
That's great. Congratulations. You've earned it. More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning. He's just saying things. The voice's protestations fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
Yikes.
No, you stop that. Stop all this nonsense. You really don't want to be happy, do you? We still have a blade. Let's use it on ourselves and start over. He's suggesting you kill yourself. You shouldn't kill yourself when you have an eternity of bliss right in front of you.
Is there really no other way? Because I don't want to split myself. But I like being happy. Let's see if slay yourself leads to the next chapter.
You goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose?
I'm not trying immortality because it sucks.
Why should it matter if we die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want? I don't have to answer that. That's all we needed to hear. You raise the blade, then drive it into your heart. You collapse to the floor, everything goes dark, and you die. You're a genocidal maniac, you know that, right? Yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah. The Grey! We've not seen the Grey before.
You're on
Oh,
par
shit.
in the woods. See, that wasn't so bad. And now we've got another chance to get to the bottom of things. Bit by bit, we're starting to unravel this place.
Are we in Ireland?
There are so many more threats.
Oh, it's the cold.
Once you stop feeling. That's a little dark, buddy. You feeling okay? I'm feeling nothing. And I like that just fine. So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2? It's our 3rd. What gave it away? Your open discussions. You came around on that awful fast. Have you just been pretending to forget every time? I'm afraid not. Whatever other versions of me you've met in those other lifetimes were just that. Other versions of me. I just wish I'd been the first. So you knew how all this worked. Why didn't you ever tell us? We could have used it to our advantage. That's because there is no using it to your advantage. The more information you have, the harder it will be for you to succeed. It's not like it was that difficult to slay her last time. She may have put up a fight, but her flesh is still softer than our blade.
Ooh.
And now she's dead, and I doubt she'll be able to do much of anything from the grave.
Well,
Already slew her, and you survived. Yes. Then why, pray tell, are you here? Oh, I know that one. We killed ourselves.
yeah.
Why? Because you thought trying to stuff us away in a corner for eternity was a suitable reward. Was it not? What better reward is there than eternal bliss? You should have been happy.
The narrator on there's a cause really does not understand why people don't agree with him. It's so interesting. Like, it's so funny.
Bored. There were still answers that we needed to find. It was actually working. And you killed yourself. I can't believe it. You ruined everything.
He does so. And what's interesting too is, like, while the echo exists, like, as a narrator, his original self is dead. So he actually never got to experience eternity, and so we'll never understand why eternal life or existence for eternity is shit. The fact that he can't even comprehend why it would be shit is wild to me too.
How does us dying ruin everything? What aren't you telling us?
Man can create 2 elder gods, but can't understand why change is good.
The world doesn't stay saved if you die. And if the world isn't saved, then that means she is dead.
Okay. So, It's raining. It wasn't raining last time. Or the time before that. The whole time. It's different.
Yes, things are different, aren't they? If this isn't the same path in the woods you're used to, that means that her influence is already spreading and you're running out of time. Influence? What's that supposed to mean? It means exactly what I said. Don't overthink it, or you run the risk of making your task so much more difficult than it has to be. And what is that supposed to mean? Forget I said anything. I've probably already made things worse, and I need to stop talking about this now before I definitely make things worse. Oh, come on, tell us your secrets. Haven't we been through enough? Don't we deserve to know? No.
Oh.
Is there a reason it would be raining? If there is, it doesn't matter. If a bit of rain is
Our
the
feathers
best
are getting wet.
influence can conjure, then we have nothing to worry about. A drenched corpse is still a corpse.
As we look at the cabin.
She'll find a way out eventually and the world will still end. The only way this resolves is if you find her and slay her before that happens. We already know he wants us to slay her. Anything he says is tainted by his motivations. Turn around and leave, go to the cabin. I'm fine with either. So long as we don't just do the same thing again.
Don't think we can do the same thing again, buddy.
Would be boring.
Proceed to the cabin.
I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. You've already managed to slay her once, just don't muck it up this time, alright? What we do is entirely up to us.
Yeah.
And we have all those mysteries to unravel. Isn't that right? You aren't here to solve a mystery, you're here to save the world. That's what you say, but how can we be sure? We can't be sure of anything except what's right in front of us. Okay, but we should care about the fate of the world. Why? Because we should. I don't know. It's important. Is it? Yes. I think. For all we know, the world you're talking about isn't even real.
Yeah.
Of course it's real. Where do you think you are? Somewhere else?
Yeah.
Maybe we are. This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await.
Enter the cabin, get out of the rain.
As soon as you enter the cabin, you're struck
No
by
blade.
an overwhelming scent of decay, of mold and death and stagnant water. The once stately wooden building is bloated, its beams dripping with a black ooze of putrefaction.
There's no
All the
blade.
exterior
There's no
stone
blade.
walls warped beyond recognition. It must have been beautiful once, but in its ruin, it is beyond repulsive. But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the rotting wood of the wall.
Is she a part of the building?
Is that her? It's like she isn't even there. See? We killed her. You're right. Maybe she doesn't reset like us. She certainly doesn't look the same as she did last time. Before you can
there
make
she
a
goes.
move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room. The door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door. There's a mirror, that's it. The mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Did you all plan this out before dying? There is no mirror. There's the door to the basement, the table, and the pristine blade. Huh. That's strange. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade?
I read her shattering boom joke, didn't I?
Maybe it's gone because we've already killed her with it. But we had it with us when we died. And besides, everything else has reset. Why wouldn't the blade have reset too? Maybe it's because we've already explored that avenue. We've seen what happens when we slay her. Maybe this place has decided we don't need to try that again. I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement?
Oh, big yawns.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open the door. It's so hazy. We should try and clean it off.
Yeah. Oh,
Reach
there it
forward
goes.
and place your hand on the door to the basement. The handle is just a little to your right, and a little down.
Shut up.
Yeah, we can see it now. So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things.
I wonder what two voices are the most distinct from each other. Like, because the guy has a lot of range.
No way left to go but down.
And it, like, unlike with the princess, it doesn't
The
seem to
door
be
to
using
the basement
any
groans open.
modified
The air
stuff.
is foul and wet, so thick that you can almost feel it settle onto your skin in layers of grime. The stairs are coated with slimy algae, the wood rotted through in places, reeking of fetid vegetation. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadows, legs submerged up to her shins in dark waters. There she is again. Barely. She's just an old memory. Your eyes
she
lock
goes.
for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner.
I think we have a lot to talk about.
You receive no response. Do you think she's upset with us?
Probably.
I don't like being here unarmed after what happened last time. I feel so exposed.
It's one all. It's
She
even.
doesn't seem fully there. I'm not sure she's even capable of being upset. You aren't helping. Are you scared of a little ghost? What's she going to do? Look at us until we feel bad? She can look all she wants. It won't do anything.
See you downstairs.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view.
Oh shit.
A bloated body floating face down in slowly rising waters. Her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain. This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom. See? She's dead. She's not just dead. It looks like she's been rotting. So killing her does stick. Mostly. But if she's dead, then what are we supposed to do?
Great question.
She isn't dead. You clearly just believe she is. Her corpse is floating right in front of us. You can stop it with the mind games. If she's dead, then do we even have to do anything? How can she be a threat to the world like this? Your thoughts are cut short by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock. You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs.
Oh.
So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart.
Oh, so it is.
She isn't dead. She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead?
Big yawns.
She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even. Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying or destroying, if we want to be a little more death neutral, seems off the table.
Sorry, it's actually unalive neutral. It's 2024. God, voice of the hero. You're so, like, not gonna get picked up by the algorithm.
Yeah, this is tricky. But let's talk to her. See what kind of information she has that we don't.
Looking unalive the princess. The TikTok cut.
She hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
Bold of you to come back here after what you did.
Dude, the other day I was on Goodreads and I literally saw a book synopsis that said, touch her on unalive. into this tropes. Oh, for fuck's sake. Like, was there any hint of irony? I killed you after you killed me first. We don't need to do this again. Why'd you close the door?
But she doesn't answer your question. All she does is watch you
Did the
in
water just
shadowed
rise?
silence. Do you hear that trickling sound? The water's rising, isn't it? It is, and it's rising fast. Oh, that's interesting. We've never drowned before. I wonder how it'll feel. Bad, I bet. I don't think dying ever feels good. Yes, how astute. Dying is bad and you should avoid it. How about you stop trying to talk to her and do something instead?
I'll try talking to her. No, I think it was ironic. Sound like your bog standard show precisely romance love. Ah, okay. I wonder how old the author is.
Pathetic.
Wow!
The water is rising faster now. It's flowing in from some unseen place, and judging by the height of the algae on the stairs, it has no intention of stopping anytime soon. You feel it creeping up your back, so cold that it steals the very warmth from your flesh, leaving a smothering numbness in its place. Are you really just going to stand there and let yourself die? Yeah, let's think. Where is it coming from? It's coming from some unseen place.
If it was ironic thing coming into a censorship, then that'd be fine. It just, yeah, book talk build, yeah, probably.
Does it really matter where it's coming from? Because I can feel it rising. I don't think we have much time to sleuth.
I wonder if the book. I don't know why. I mean, I could probably unravel why if I thought about it for like a few more minutes. But for whatever reason, seeing Touch Her and Unalive, one leads me to think it's really book talk build, and two, for some reason, it makes me think that AI is involved in some capacity.
Yes, it matters. Maybe we can find a way out. Maybe we can figure out a way to make this work. This is just a puzzle. We can solve it. Some things aren't puzzles to be solved. Sometimes you're doomed from the start. Most people are. Yes, most people are doomed, but in case you need reminding, everyone will be doomed forever unless you stop her.
You're trying to kill me. I'm gonna drown. What's wrong with you, please? Oh, the author's page. She's not that young. Married and has kids. Oh gosh.
If this is how you're choosing to spend your last breaths, I won't stop you. But it won't make any difference.
The water is up to your chin. You lose your footing, bobbing helplessly in the putrid flood pool. Suddenly, the door to the basement is thrown from its hinges as one last massive
What the
wave of
heck?
water comes crashing down, sweeping you up in a powerful current. You're bashed against the stone wall.
Oof.
You come to a moment later, suspended in darkness. Disorientated, only aware of the surface of the water and the emptiness above. And of course, the princess, hovering above you, watching in silence as you struggle to stay afloat in the icy depths. There's no way out. It's so dark and cold, I think our limbs are slowing down. How much longer can we do this? Just keep breathing, we'll figure this out. Or we won't. It doesn't matter either way. But you don't have time to figure anything out. Something cold and clammy wraps around your ankle.
Is it an octopus?
You're dragged under, only able to take one last hopeful gulp of air before your head is plunged into the freezing depths. As you sink below the surface, you see it.
Oh.
Rather, you see her. The body you found floating when you first arrived, its hand is locked around your ankle, the heavy chains pulling you both down into the unfeeling, suffocating nothingness.
That's interesting.
I get it. We shouldn't have killed her. Just get it away from us, please. The past is the past. There's no changing it. There's nothing to fix. And there's not a lot we can do about the present either. Not unless we think, like we should have been doing all along. But there is no thinking as you drown. You desperately try to pull yourself back to the surface again, and again, and again. Your icy limbs flailing desperately against the grip of her rotting corpse. And all the while her ghastly figure stares down at you, expressionless, as unfeeling as the weight around your ankle.
Your lungs filled with water, the same way mine filled with blood. In the end, we're not so different.
Okay. Hang on. When did I make a save into Gray? I did. I'm just curious if any other route I can go here.
Don't just tell her you're unarmed. Do you think she's upset with us? I don't like being here unarmed after what happened last time. I feel so
Yeah, probably.
exposed.
Like, it might just purely be like so algorithm build that they have to do it. They feel like they have to do it to be picked up. Although I don't think any other algorithm but TikTok's gives a shit about that word.
There. You aren't. Are you as you descend.
I'm sorry, don't get me out.
But she doesn't answer your question. You hear that trickling? It is. Oh, that bad. I don't think die. Yes, ours.
Rush for the blade.
The princess eyes you with a disaffected gaze as you rush up the stairs, but you don't make it past the first few steps. The door bursts open, a powerful wave of water crashing down towards you. You're swept up in the flood. Your head you come to.
I wonder, is it possible to do anything but drown here?
You have already committed to my completion.
Oh!
You cannot go further astray.
I didn't know that was a thing that could happen. I think of some more. I think some generic smoking hot elf man saying I'll unalive you. It is very funny. But I could also see a way to like actually make like use that properly. Like the elf doesn't quite get our language. It's a different tongue to him. You know.
You make
it does get a bit into questionable territory though over like how people write things in real life too, but still. Okay, what if I just try rush to the door?
the princess eyes you with a
F9. What? Oh, F9 apparently does a thing. It's interesting. I'll do anything, just don't let me drown.
But she doesn't. Do you hear that? It is. Oh, that's bad. I don't think. Yes.
I don't want
I
this.
didn't want to die.
The water. Are you really? Yeah. It's coming. Does it? Yes. Something. Yes.
Doing this again.
If this is how you're choosing to spend your last breaths,
Okay, so there's like no options here.
She's gone. And there's...
I want to ask.
This doesn't feel. You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear. Ignore the cowards. You have to look.
Good introduction. I think this is unraveled again. Because, yeah.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
New Year's Hostess Vessel.
This one is guarded sorrow. She saw herself as alone, but in the end had the courage to share with another. She will make for a deep heart.
Okay.
Do not mourn her. She has finally been heard.